Hi, Debbie here. I want to show you how I fix a mistake that can happen when you do Hardanger work. I mean, you spend days and hours putting these together, sewing, and then you're ready to cut, which is can be very challenging in itself. And you accidentally cut the wrong thread. Let me tell you, all is not lost. It can be fixed. So I'm just going to show you, none of the threads have been miscut here, but I just wanted to show you, if I was cutting and I accidentally came in and I cut this thread off, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this one thread is now not attached anymore. Now I'm using Aida cloth to show you this. Normally you wouldn't use this kind of cloth to do Hardanger work because it's very difficult to pull your threads through with this. But what you do is, see, I'm not there anymore. See my threads. So in order to save this thread, what I do is I go to the side of my fabric and I pull a piece of thread out. Now with this material, each thread piece is actually like 4 threads together. So normally it wouldn't be 4 of them on there, it would just be 1. But being how this fabric is so thick, there's actually 4 threads with each one. Well, anyway, what you do is you take one out and you thread a needle. The one that's been cut accidentally, these are woven. You'll see it's going to go in, under, over, and then it's going to go under, over. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip this over and go to the reverse side, and I'm going to start my thread underneath this block right here. So when I flip it over, this is let's see which one it is that I cut. I flipped it over. Sometimes it's that I cut. I just want to make sure I cut it all the way through. Let me just pull this up a little bit. I just want to pull this. I'm going to pull this out of the way. See how hard it is to just even get it over one stitch. Okay. That's so that I can just see where I'm at when I flip it over. Which I keep losing every time I flip over. Here we go. So I would just take my needle and, I'll take my needle and go into this block here. And I will leave a long tail out because I'm going to use that to tighten up my stitch once I go in there. Then I'll flip it back and then I'll go to the part that's been accidentally cut, and I know my weave started under, so it started under, then it goes over, under, and then what I'm going to do, I'm going to start bringing, let me just move this out of the way so you can see what I'm doing. Because I usually will leave this piece that was accidentally cut attached until I'm finished doing my weaving. So what I'm actually doing is I'm just replacing that. So that's going to go, I need to come up. I'm going to come up from this side and slide over so I can see. There we go. Because that one was under, so this one's over. Then I'm going to come under, bring it up over here, and then I'll bring it through. Then I'm going to go under, then I'm going to come over to this side and go under, over, under, over, and then I'm going to slide it under this block here for now. I'm just going to just stick the needle right there for now. And then I am going to cut the other end here so that we can pull this out of the way. So now we need to take this and just get this out of there. This is the one that we accidentally cut. So now we have the piece that I'm just pulling the threads to make it tight so we can see it. So see how you can see it moving. See it moving? So now we've replaced the thread that was accidentally cut, and everything's ready to go. And then after you do whatever stitching you're going to do in there, weaving or whatever, then you can just flip this over and then just cut. I would actually go into the back with this too and just stick it in there. That way I can pull both ends to keep my piece that I just wove in there taut. So now it's all fixed, ready to go, and you've got all your pieces. And you can do this if you accidentally like cut the whole thing across, as long as you have one that, even if you don't have one, but it helps if you have one here, excuse me, then you can just weave in and out where it needs to be, and then it's all fixed, ready to go. So that's what, because no matter how careful I am, I can almost guarantee you I'll probably cut a stitch and have to weave. So, because that happened to me years ago. I was like, oh my gosh, I had this big project I just finished, and it, you know, days and hours, and you cut, and then you start pulling your threads, and you realize, oh no, I cut the wrong thing, and you're like, oh no, I just ruined my project. No, you didn't. You can actually just repair it by just weaving your threads in. Just weave them in. And you can just go by the weave that's in the thing here. The only thing I haven't had to do yet is if I accidentally was to cut across this part of a block, because this is what holds everything together. These open sides here, you should really never ever cut across. But sometimes when you're cutting, you just cut, and you don't realize, oh no, I forgot and I cut this too. You can still weave it in. No matter what you cut, you can always weave it back in. You just have to start out, you just pull a piece of thread out of the fabric you're using, thread it, and then just go underneath one of your blocks, and then just weave it. And then it's repaired and it's ready to go. So I just wanted to show you what you can do if you accidentally cut the wrong thread. I want to thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you again soon. Bye for now.